Someone might want to call Chi a pet because I did not order a plant. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew and today we're taking another trip down memory lane. Today we're taking a look at the Bandai Monster King Series Godzilla 2017 from the Godzilla anime trilogy, more specifically Planet of the Monsters. If you guys don't know, basically the Monster King series is like the jumbo version of the movie Monster series line, and basically just has like these bigger versions of various Godzilla figures, because I think that there's a 2004, well, across Bandai America and Bandai Japan, there's 2004 Kiryu, obviously this guy, a Shin Godzilla, and a 2014 Godzilla. There could be, there's also a -1 Godzilla and a KOTM Godzilla, but I think just for the core ones, those are about it. But today we're taking a look at the 2017 Goji. Basically, I'm saying basically a lot, but you have to roll with me. So basically, I got this guy back in Easter. I think it was either 2017 or 18. And it was actually pretty fun actually getting this thing for the first time. I was not aware I would ever get it. Like, I saw it on Google once and I was like, oh cool, new Godzilla anime design on figures. Cool, that's awesome. I'll probably never be able to get it. And yet here I am holding it in my very hands all these years later, even though I've had it for all that time. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this massive tree stump. Now, for you casual viewers that might be wondering why am I making so many plant jokes or tree puns, if you actually have not watched the anime, basically, there we go again with basically, this Godzilla is actually a plant. Yeah, he's basically, I'm not even going to acknowledge it anymore. He's essentially just like this big, super mutated hybrid-like plant organism that essentially has evolved throughout several thousand years to become this big, gigantic Goliath of a Godzilla, being, I think, the tallest Godzilla we've ever seen on film at 318 meters tall, which is stupid impressive. But at the same time, this is actually not that Godzilla Earth. This is its offspring, Godzilla Filius, which essentially means sun. Well, the word Filius means sun. And this is the Godzilla that go with it. It's kind of shocking that Bandai never really did anything with Godzilla Earth within itself. I mean, you get a fair amount of Godzilla Earth figures, but like when you search up Godzilla 2017 figures, most of them are going to be the Filius design. And how to differentiate the two is that Earth, from what I know, it's essentially the same design core-wise, but Earth has a bit like a slightly different color scheme and actually has a beard. Filius doesn't have the beard. In fact, he's actually one of the shorter Godzillas, only coming out at like 50 meters tall. But for the actual figure at hand, I can safely say that the figure, raising up the camera a bit, is actually really nice. The base here, we have just like these solid blue pupils, which are eyes, really just add like a bit of colorization to the already awesome looking body. And we also have very nice detail work kind of going into the sides, especially in like some parts of the figure. You can actually see that where the vinyl shows clearly there's glitter. Yes, glitter infused vinyl. I love this. I really love it when Bandai does this. It's always a real treat. There's like actually this translucent blue one that's like, I don't remember if it's the Monster King or the movie Monster Series version, which is funny because I don't actually own the MMS version of this guy yet. That's all like blue, and it looks like that one event exclusive from Monster Arts in the 2019 King of the Monsters line. That looks awesome, and I want to get that someday. Anyways, for the actual facial details, we can see a lot of like the more ruggedy, like just outright very, very bark-like texture. I mean, of course, that's what it's supposed to be. It almost looks like a much older, shoveled version of the legendary Godzilla. And I'm allowed to say that because the legendary Godzilla predates the anime Godzilla by 3 years. So I have a feeling that they definitely took some sort of stab from it. Even down to like the way that the top here looks, because the 2014 Godzilla had like these weird 3-line appendages, and here you do get those 1, 2, 3 that lead to the dorsal plates. What the 2014 one definitely doesn't have is just these really cool looking stretch marks here, and you can clearly see like it just has a lot of like plant life to it almost. Also, just a relook inside the mouth. I think that's a sculpted in tongue, not entirely sure, but yeah, just kind of get you a little bit more situated with it. I'm pretty sure that's all dust, but I've had this thing for a few years. Probably should rinse it. Just give it a nice old rinse. Anyway, just kind of going back down, but you do still get like the core details to this thing. As you can see, the blue here for the front just looks absolutely killer, with the black actually seeped into the like the chest design. You can tell he worked out. Like, he really does work out a lot. The arms here are big and bulky. Not so much the forearms, but like the biceps particularly. And then yeah, I like how it kind of gets like the thick vinyl here, like where it's painted over, and then it kind of like slowly graded size to the more sparkly glitter infused vinyl. That's a cool effect. And of course the nails. He went to the salon. Must have been a very big salon in order to accommodate this guy. So like, wow, what the hell. Again, all like the crisp detailing, very muscular. It looks very deep and very nice. Let's talk about the dorsal plates because, well, I also want to get these things out of the way. Purely beautiful. If they look like maple leaves, that's what they're supposed to look like, or at least some sort of pine tree silhouette. They are supposed to look like leaves or trees, whatever you want to say. And even down to like the veins, like they look really nice. The only Godzilla I think also features them is Ultima and Evolved, but those didn't come until like way after. So this is like really nice, and you can just see the tail. That we'll talk about the tail because I do have a bit of a gripe with that. The dorsal plates detail. Let's flip it to this side, shall we? Just look absolutely phenomenal, and again, like the metallic paint. Because keep in mind, these dorsal plates in the movie were metallic. They just look really killer here. For the legs, very big, bulky, not overly squishy, surprisingly, but you do get like that thick blue spray, and then the under part, which is like all glittery and such. We do have the nails, which are actually painted pretty nicely as well. Just kind of swipe, a little bit of a. For a second, I thought that was the vinyl scraping off. Well, we have, again, the nails painted, just kind of get you a little bit more of that nice detail work. Of course, Godzilla's infamous crotch, because why the hell not? And then, the tail. You might notice that it's pointing straight up. We'll talk about that. But for the actual detail on the tail, again, it's so nice. The tip looks very almost serrated. Let's kind of focus in on that. There we go. It almost looks serrated. Trust me, it's actually blunt. But you do get a lot of nice detail. Like all of that. That is really cool. Let's kind of go to this side. There you go. Underneath. All the glitter just kind of like reflecting through. And of course it swoops up. So what seems to be the big problem with the tail? Well, I get why Bandai decided to do this. In fact, it's nothing new. They literally do this with all their Monster King series figures. But this is stupid. Like, honestly, this is stupid. Like, tell me why they do this. Because it needs to fit inside the box. Okay, fair enough. Why is it that in recent years, we had the -1 figure. That did the same thing as this. I know this was a few years back. But once it's out, it's just going to look like this. Like, this doesn't look natural for Godzilla. I get it. It's a sci-fi creature. But even for this, like, I feel like what they should have done was take Playmates' route. They should have cut it right here, right around here, and actually have it peg into the body. It is made of vinyl, but you could have done it. Like, please? I don't understand why they have to continue straightening up the tails like this. Like, it doesn't really make sense from a manufacturing standpoint. Also, it's at an angle, so you do kind of get like that Shin Godzilla effect, where at certain points it looks like it's just straight up, and then others it's kind of curled off to the side. It's actually just curled off to the left. But for the Monster King Godzilla Filius, I'll be honest, it's not a perfect release as far as the sculpt and paint goes, but it actually is really cool, like color-wise. The glitter is awesome, the detail's really nice for a vinyl, and I do like the metallic paint job on the nails, the bit of parts of the body, and especially the dorsal plates. The tail is just the one thing that I absolutely don't like on this figure, but if there's one plus to that, you save on shelf space. Anyways, that's going to have to do it for sculpt and paint. I'm going to rate the sculpt and paint a 8 out of 10. For articulation, we have a ball joint swivel here for the shoulders. So you can spin those around. And just kind of like move those up. For the legs, we can go back and forth, just like so. I don't think you can do a full 360. Maybe. Let's try. Oh, can you? Oh, you can. Okay, I probably did it years ago, but it's very stiff. And I have tried multiple times to break the glue seal on this thing. Nothing. And chances are you're probably just gonna fall right off. Anyways, I feel like articulation was never like the main selling point of these vinyl figures, and it very much shows, because really all you just get is and that's it. No waist, no head, no tail. Come on, at least the head. You know, with the increased size of the figure, I feel like this could have been a really nice time to have had a head swivel. But I guess that's too much to complain, because it looks like the bigger the figure is, the less likely it is to have a head joint. Looking at you, Titan Goji. But back to this one. The arms and legs, they do their job. I feel like it's serviceable. 6 out of 10, I personally feel. Nothing too spectacular with that. And for some size comparisons, here he is with some other Monster King, technically Monster King line of figures, with the 2004 Godzilla and the 2014 Godzilla. And he's actually the shortest of the bunch. Kind of surprised about that, because you'd think they make one of the biggest, bulkiest Godzillas, proportion-wise, I should say, the biggest one. But actually, Shin, to my knowledge, is actually the tallest. I think Shin would be about up to, trying to put my hand relatively speaking, about here. So that's a big Godzilla. But alas, that's about it. And because I brought them both up earlier, here he is with my Bandai representation of the -1 Godzilla, which is actually the, what is it called? The Monster Roar Attack statue line. And here he is with the SH Monster Arts Godzilla Ultima, which, I'm going to be honest. It's so weird to think that there exist Monster Arts figures that are just barely shorter than Monster King Series. Because, like, if I rear this guy up a little bit more back, he comes a little close, like, surprisingly. I'm trying to, like, open up his Muppet mouth. He comes about up to the shoulder. Which I wonder, why wasn't there a Monster King version of this guy? And lastly, here he is with some NECA Godzilla and Kong figures, with the NECA Godzilla 1954 and the NECA King Kong. And let's just kind of look at this. It's, again, funny, because never in a million years would I have imagined NECA's Kong. Let's move 54 out of the way. Kind of hurts to do to my first figure ever, but it kind of is weird to me that these two like at least height-wise, go decently together. Now, as for who would win, come on. One tail swipe and Kong's dead. Like, there's no way. He's bigger, he's bulkier, he has no way of winning. Sorry, Kong. And so overall, for the Monster King series, Godzilla 2017, what do I think of this figure all these years later? He's fun. Like, really, a lot of fun. I need to move that thing before it blinds me in the eye. He's a lot of fun. I think if you're looking for a giant, just like basic Godzilla Filius to go in the collection, it's not a bad choice. I don't know how much he's going for these days, nor do I know how much they originally got him for, my parents specifically, because this thing was a gift off the secondhand market, so who knows? It could have been 20, could have been 30, could have been 50 freaking dollars. Completely skipping 40, huh? But I feel like it was about that price range back then. Now in 2025, you can guarantee that even a mint box version of this guy is probably worth a lot. If I did have to like put a soft cap of how much I'd spend for this thing, don't pay more than I would say 65 USD before shipping on eBay, if that's where you're looking for, mint in the box. Because this thing is Japanese, was never sold here on North American shelves, I can kind of see how that could interfere with some collectors with that. Anyways, for my final rating, I'm going to say that this figure gets a comfortable 7.5 out of 10. A lot of cool stuff with him, just not something I would say I would personally go back and collect like full time again. Because the Monster King series just seems to be one of those lines that's like dead for several years, new Godzilla comes out, and boom. Even though Evolve didn't get a Monster King series, where's the consistency here, Bandai? It's almost like they have to make like, okay, is this one gonna get a Monster King series? No, because they never did one for Vs. Kong, they never did one for the New Empire. Anyways, that's all from me. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.